So today we are solving rational equations. When I just have two fractions that equal each other, I can cross multiply and solve. So in this first one, I'm going to take this and multiply those two together. And then I'm going to take these two and multiply together. So I'm going to have 3 times 4x plus 5. And this is going to equal 9 times x plus 1. Okay, then I want to actually go ahead and distribute out. So 3 times 4x gets me 12x. 3 times 5 gets me 15. On the right side, I have 9 times x, which is going to get me 9x. 9 times 1 gets me 9. Then I want to go ahead and get all of my variables over to the same side, so I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. Which will get me 3x plus 15 equals 9. Then I want to subtract 15 on both sides. This is going to get me 3x equals negative 6. Bless you. Then I want to divide both sides by 3. This gets me x equals negative 2. Okay, so what do I want to start off doing on number 2? Cross multiply. So I'm going to have 2 times 3x plus 2 equals 10 times x plus 2. Then what do I want to do? Distribute. So I have 2 times 3x, which gets me 6x. 2 times 2 is 4. Then I have 10 times x is 10x. 10 times 2 is 'Okay, then I want to go ahead and plug in my, get all my variables over to the same side. So I'm going to subtract 6x on both sides. I get 4 equals 4x plus 20. Then I want to go ahead and subtract 20 on both sides. This is going to get me negative 16 equals 4x. Then I just need to get x alone. So I want to divide both sides by 4, which gets me negative 4 for my x value. Questions on number 2? Okay. So number 3 is similar. I still want to cross multiply. So I'm going to have negative 3 times x minus 5 And now I have two binomials multiplying each other. So I'm going to have x plus 1 times x minus 5. So then I want to distribute. I get negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 5 gets me positive 15. On the other side, I have x times x, which gets me x squared. X times negative 5 gets me negative 5x. 1 times x gets me x. 1 times negative 5 gets me negative 5. Okay. So then I want to combine my terms on my right side. Good morning. So I have negative 5x plus x, which is going to get me negative 4x. And then I have the minus 5 at the end. Okay. Then I want to get all of my terms over to the same side since this is a quadratic. So I'm going to start by adding 3x to both sides. Which gets me 15 on the left. X squared stayed the same. Negative 4x plus 3x is going to get me negative x. And then minus that 5. And then I want to subtract this 15 from both sides, which is going to get me 0 equals x squared minus x minus 20. So then I want to go ahead and factor what multiplies to negative 20 and adds to negative 1. Okay, which one needs to be negative? The 5 or the 4? Okay. So then I want to take each of these and set them equal to 0. On this one, I add 5 to both sides. I get x equals 5. This one I add 4. I get x equals 4. You know what? It would. I don't know why I wrote negative. So this would be a negative 4. Okay. So then I need to go back. Whenever I get more than one answer, I want to go back and check them. So I'm going to start off by plugging in that 5. So I'm going to have negative 3 over 5 plus 1 equals 5 minus 5 over 5 minus 5. So then I want to simplify this, which is going to get me negative 3 on the top because that doesn't change. And then 5 plus 1 is 6. On the right side, I have 5 minus 5 is 0. Does this one work? No, those two fractions aren't the same. Then I want to do the same thing for the negative 4. So I'm going to have negative 3 over 4 plus 1 equals 4 minus 5 over 4 minus 5. second. Something's not right. Ah! That's still not right. What? You know what? You're right, it doesn't belong on the top. I was like, what am I doing wrong? There we go. Okay, so now I can simplify. So, negative 3 on the top. Right, be quiet. What's negative 4 plus 1? And then on the right, I have over negative 9. Are those the same fraction, if I simplify? Yes, because it's going to give me 1 over 1, which is just 1. So 4 works, or negative 4 works. Questions here? Okay, so on number 4, what do I want to start off by doing? Cross multiply. So I'm going to have 2 times x minus 1 equals x minus 4 times x minus 3. So then I just want to distribute 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then I have x times x gets me x squared. X times negative 3 gets me negative 3x. Negative 4 times x gets me negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 3 gets me positive 12. Then I want to go ahead and combine like terms on that right side. So I still have the x squared. Negative 3x plus negative 4x gets me negative 7x. Then I want to move everything over to one side, so I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. This gets me negative 2 equals x squared minus 9x plus 12. Then I want to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. So this gets me 0 equals x squared minus 9x plus 14. Then I want to go ahead and find what multiplies to positive 14 and adds to negative 9. So what is that? Then I want to take these and set them equal to 0. This first one I want to add 2 to both sides, so I get x equals 2. The second one I add 7, I get x equals 7. Okay. Then I need to go ahead and check. So I'm going to have 2 over x minus 4 equals 2 minus 3 over 2 minus 1. So then if I simplify this one, I have 2 over negative 2. And then on the right side, I have negative 1 over 1. Do these simplify to the same thing? They're both going to give me negative 1. So this one works. Then I need to check the other one. So I'm going to have 2 over 7 minus 4 equals 7 minus 3 over 7 minus 1. So on my first fraction, this is going to simplify to 2 over 3. My second one is going to give me 4 over 6. Do these simplify to the same fraction? Yep. So this one also works. Questions on number 4? I know. Yeah, you didn't shake it up, right? That's fine. No. Okay. Can I move on to number 5? Okay, so I'm going to move on to number 5. So when we have multiple fractions on one side of the equation with different denominators, we can multiply the whole equation by the least common denominator to get rid of all of the fractions, and then solve from there. Again, when we do this, we need to go ahead and check our answers to make sure they actually work in the equation. So on number 5, what numbers do I have on the bottom of this fraction? X and 4. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 4x to get rid of that bottom. So I'm going to rewrite over here. I have 4x, and then I'm going to be I wanted this in red. So if I distribute this to each of my terms, I'm going to have 4x times 5 over x plus 4x times 7 over 4 equals 4x times negative 9 over x. So all I did was I distributed that 4x to each of my terms. I looked at what I had on the denominator. So I had a 4 and an x. So I just multiplied that together to get the 4x. What do you mean? Like number 7? We'll get to it when we get to number 7. Okay. So then, if I take a look at this, can I cancel anything out on my first term? X. So really, I just have 4 times 5, which is 20. Then over here on the second term, can I cancel anything out? 4. So I'm left with 7x. And then on my last term, x. So what's 4 times negative 9? Negative 36. So then I want to go ahead and solve my equation. So what should I do? Someone not Abigail. How would I solve this equation? subtract 20 on both sides. So this is going to get me 7x equals, what's negative 36 minus 20? They're both negative. Negative 56. And then I can divide both sides by 7, which gets me x equals negative 8. Questions on number 5? Okay, so on number 6, what do I want to multiply by? 2x. So I'm going to rewrite everything. I'm going to have 2x times 3 over x plus 2x times 5 over 2 equals 2x times negative 12 over x. So what cancels out on my first term? X. So 2 times 3 is 6. In my middle term, what cancels out? 2. So what am I left with? And then on my end term, x. So 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. Then what do I want to do to solve? Okay. So that gets me 5x equals negative 30. And then what do I want to divide both sides by? X equals negative 6. Questions on number 6? What? Okay, so on number 7, what do you think I need to multiply by? What do I have on the bottom here? X minus 5 and x. So I want to multiply by x times x minus 5. Those aren't the same thing. They're two different things. Okay. So then I'm going to distribute out. So I'm going to have x times x minus 5 times the one that was from the problem minus x times x minus 5 times 8 over x minus 5 equals x times x minus 5 times 3 over x. Yeah, so I just take whatever my denominators are and multiply them together. So this is kind of like, this x minus 5 is still kind of like the 4 we had on number 5. I just took it and multiplied it to cancel out my fractions. Okay. So on this first term, there's nothing to cancel out. So I just need to multiply here. What's x times x? X squared. And then since I'm multiplying by 1, I can kind of just ignore that 1. So I have x squared and x times negative 5. Negative 5x. Then in my middle term, what cancels out? The x minus 5. So I have negative x times 8, which gets me negative 8x. On the end of my equation, what cancels out? The x. So now I'm left with x minus 5 times 3. So I want to distribute. 3 times x is 3 times negative 5. Negative 15. Okay, so I want to combine like terms on my left side. What's negative 5x minus 8x? Negative 13x. Then what do I want to do? subtract 3x from both sides. So I have x squared minus 16x equals negative 15. Then I want to do what? Add the 15 to both sides. So this gets me x squared minus 16x plus 15 equals 0. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply to positive 15 and add up to negative 16. Negative 15 and negative 1. So I want to take those and set those equal to 0. So if I add 15 to both sides, I get x equals 15. And if I add 1 to both sides, I get x equals 1. I still need to go ahead and check my answers, but I'll tell you a secret. I just need to plug it into the denominators to see if it gives me 0 or not. So if I plug in 15 to this first fraction on the bottom, is that going to give me 0? No. Is 15 going to give me 0 on the bottom of this fraction? No. If I plug in 1, is this going to give me 0? 1 minus 5? It's not going to give me 0. What if I plug in 1 on the second one? Is that going to give me 0? No. So on this one, both of my answers work. Questions here? Yeah. So on number 8, what do I want to multiply by? X times x minus 4. So I'm going to multiply that by the 1. Then I have x times x minus 4 times 2 over x minus 4 equals x times x minus 4 times the 4 over x. Okay. Then I want to go ahead, and this one, on my first term, I can't cancel anything out, so I'm just going to multiply. X times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. And then since I was timesing by 1, I don't have to do anything else. On my second term, can anything cancel out? X minus 4. So then I'm going to have negative 2x. On my last term, can anything cancel out? X. So then I have to multiply the 4 times the x minus 4. So 4 times x gets me 4x. 4 times negative 4 gets me negative 16. Then I want to go ahead and combine like terms on the left side. So I have x squared minus 6x equals 4x minus 16. Then I want to subtract 4x on both sides, which gets me x squared minus 10x equals negative 16. Then I'm going to go ahead and add 16 on both sides. So I have x squared minus 10x plus 16 equals 0. What two numbers multiply to positive 16 that add up to negative 10? Negative 8 and negative 2. So I'm going to have x minus 8 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve each one. This first one I want to add 8 to both sides. I get x equals 8. The second one I add 2 to both sides. I get x equals 2. So if I plug in 8 to the bottom, am I going to get 0 here? 8 minus 4, does that give me 0? No. 8 on this bottom, is that going to give me 0? No. So that means 8 works, because whenever we have 0, it doesn't work. What if I plug in 2? Does 2 minus 4 give me 0? No. Does 2 plugging into this one give me 0? No. So both of these will work. Both of these are our answers.